There was an open expanse of field behind Rarity's Carousel Boutique that the girls found suitable to their needs, and so they set up there. They had managed to acquire a nice ball from Lickety Split, but had to resort to improvising bases out of sticks, reserving a large flat stone for home plate. Scootaloo drew a line in the ground with her hoof right in the center point between all of the bases, marking the pitcher's mound, and placed the ball right in front of the line. She called out to Sweetie Belle, who was standing at home plate. "Are you ready?" The unicorn filly shook her head. "Nah, I don't really want to play." Scootaloo groaned. "Come on, Sweetie Belle. I'm sure you'll have fun if you just try." Apple Bloom agreed. "Yeah, who knows, maybe this'll actually be the day you get your cutie mark." Sweetie Belle, however, was not exactly optimistic. She shook her head. "Yeah, right. That's what we said the last 30 gazillion times." Apple Bloom was not ready to give up on her friend just yet. She knew it was probably a lost cause, but she was going to try her best to make her friend feel better. She walked over to the big rock that served as home plate. "Here, I'll go first." Apple Bloom stepped up to the plate, or rock, and readied herself for the pitch. "Let her rip, Scoot." Scootaloo nodded. "Okay, here it comes." The little Pegasus went back a few steps, buzzing her wings to give her a little extra speed, and ran forward, hitting the ball with the top of her head and sending it rolling over the grass. Apple Bloom waited until the ball was almost at home plate and charged forward and kicked it out with her front hoof as hard as she could. She completely missed the ball. It rolled back and bounced past her hoof, and the momentum of her body caused by the poorly aimed kick sent her stumbling forward, face-planting into the dirt with a startled yell. Scootaloo bit her lip to stop herself from laughing, looking down to keep Apple Bloom from seeing her smile at her expense. The yellow filly looked up, wiping the grass and dirt from her face. Despite Scootaloo's best efforts, it was obvious to Apple Bloom that she was trying not to laugh. She rolled her eyes. Yeah, go ahead and laugh," said Apple Bloom, cracking a smile. "Laugh? I'm not laughing. Scootaloo cracked up, no longer able to hold it in. Tears trickled down her face. "Oh man, you should have seen yourself." Scootaloo fell over onto her side, kicking out with her back legs and clutching her abdomen with her forehooves, laughing hysterically. Apple Bloom joined in the merriment, laughing at herself with Scootaloo, and pretty soon both fillies' sides were hurting as they rolled around on the grass. Sweetie Belle couldn't help but smile. She was not in the best of moods, but watching her friends having fun seemed to rub off on her a little bit. Still, her usual optimism hadn't yet returned, and when Scootaloo and Apple Bloom stopped laughing, a frown had returned to her face. Scootaloo walked over to Pitcher's Mound, pushing the ball over to the spot with her head. "Okay, Sweetie Belle, you're up." The Pegasus filly pointed at the rock, marking home plate with her hoof. The other filly, to Scootaloo's chagrin, shook her head. "Nah, I'll probably just do what Apple Bloom did anyway." She held her usual head low, drawing a circle in the grass with her hoof. Scootaloo groaned. "Aw, come on, Sweetie Belle. At least try to have a little fun." She stamped the ground with her hoof. Exasperated, but worried for her friend, Apple Bloom tried to make light of the situation, walking over to Sweetie Belle and pushing her playfully on the shoulder. "Yeah, Sweetie Belle. I mean, it's not like you can possibly do any worse than me. Seriously." She giggled, using her head to push Sweetie Belle over to the plate. "You've got nothing to worry about." Sweetie Belle put up a struggle against Apple Bloom's push, but the other filly was stronger from her days at working the farm, and pretty soon Sweetie Belle was standing on the plate. The unicorn gave Apple Bloom a dirty look, but stayed in place. "Alright, you ready?" called Scootaloo from the middle of the field. Sweetie Belle groaned. Okay, I'll play." She finally caved. Scootaloo took a few steps back and prepared to hit the ball. "Okay." Scootaloo hit the ball with the top of her head, sending it bouncing toward home plate. To Sweetie Belle, the ball seemed to be moving one frame at a time, as all of her irritations and frustrations was rapidly coming to a boiling point. She didn't know why she was feeling so angry, but all she knew was that the little bouncing red ball was about to feel her wrath. The unicorn filly ran forward and with a loud shout, jumped up, turned around, and pushed off the ground with her forelegs, kicking out with her back hooves as hard as she could. Both hooves connected, and the ball sailed through the air, well over Scootaloo's head and far out into the outfield. Scootaloo and Apple Bloom's jaws dropped open, their eyes riveted to the ball that was high up in the sky, watching it move in a massive arc, zooming off into the distance. and straight into the top window of the Carazzo Botti. All three fillies heard the unmistakable sound of shattering glass. In an instant, all of Sweetie Belle's pent-up anger left her, and she turned around, cringing to see the broken window of her sister's shop from far away. Her heart skipped a beat. "Oh, no." Sweetie Belle stood there on the field, momentarily shocked. Her other two friends couldn't do or say anything either, their eyes fixed on the morbid sight. Sweetie Belle broke out into a run, galloping towards the Botti. Fear began to tie her stomach in knots as she neared the entrance. Surely it couldn't have gone through that window. "Oh no," she said again, tears springing to her eyes. She burst through the front door, the little silver bell on the door ringing out in mockery of her plight. Sweetie Belle ran up the stairs, making a beeline for her sister's workroom. The door to the room was already open. Sweetie Belle ran in, skidding to a halt, short of breath from her running. Her heart stopped. Lying on the floor was the entire lineup of dresses Rarity had made for the exhibition. The ball had stricken the first one in the lineup, and they had all fallen over in a domino effect. Some of them ripped and frayed at the seams as the fabric caught onto the other things in the fall. A few of them looked totally ruined. And there, standing next to it all, with eyes that burned hotter than embers, was Rarity. Sweetie Belle could sense her sister's rage, which was almost tangible in the air. There was all of her hard works and sleepless nights, lying in tatters on the floor of the workroom, and it was all her fault. Rarity, I'm sorry. Get out! Rarity's voice was cold, unmoving, uncaring. Sweetie Belle's tears flowed down her cheeks in rivulets, her whole body shivering in fear and sorrow. Please, sis, I didn't mean. We were just playing and I... Rarity whirled around, her tired bloodshot eyes burning with more vehemence and anger than Sweetie Belle had ever seen. Rarity marched slowly toward her whimpering sister, who was taking a step back with every step Rarity took toward her. Oh, shut up, she hissed. Sweetie Belle silenced herself, shrinking back. Why is it that whenever I try to do something, you've always got to be there to ruin it? You destroy all of my work, my entire line, with your stupid childish games, and you honestly think that I care that you're sorry? After everything I worked on, you expect your little sorry to cut it? She raised her voice, stomping on the floor with her front hoof and causing her sister to jump back. Sweetie Belle fought back sobs, her whole body shaking. Never, not even during their argument during the sisterhood social, had she ever seen Rarity like this. The poor filly was terrified. Please, Rarity, I can help. I don't want to hear anything, she growled, silencing Sweetie Belle immediately. I don't care about your excuses. I don't care how sorry you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you leave here and never come back. I don't care! Sweetie Belle was now standing right in the doorway, her nose and Rarity's almost touching. The little filly was frozen to the spot. Rarity's scream could be heard up and down the street. Get out! And on this last command, Sweetie Belle turned around and ran away, bawling her eyes out.